In this video, I will show the status of oauth2 flow. I created this project. This project is just for identity provider. It supplied a login page and some authentication logic. Okay, the first step, we will start some servers and we need exactly follow the steps order. We don't need, we must follow the order. Okay, the first step is start the Hazel server. Here we can reference this link to have a look how to install Hazel. Let me take the Docker as example. I get the Hazel code in this path, and here we have the quick start YAML file. I need to change the YAML file. Later, this project will deploy on this URL. Okay, I will change the quick start, change these 3 parameters, change to current project URL, and pay attention to the leading characters. Never change the leading empty blank characters, because this is YAML file. Only change the value. Okay, after change the 3 parameters to this project URL, we can start the server, the Hazel server, like this. Okay, start the server, enter. The Hazel server will run on this URL, the admin URL and the public URL. Okay, it started. The next step is start OBP API server. Pay attention to follow settings in purpose. Here, this value must be true, and this value is just the Hazel server corresponding URL. If you deploy on other domain, you need to change it correspondingly. Okay, and Hazel consents. Here are some more fixed values consents, and check the exists parameter. This parameter, make sure the Hazel JWKS URL is correct, and this purpose must be true. If it is true, when we create one consumer, at the same time, we'll create one Hazel client. Okay, after modify this, we start the OBP API server. It will run in this URL. Okay, start. The server is started. Okay, let me create one consumer for this project. Create one consumer. Okay. Log in. Create a consumer. The application is identity provider. URL, any URL is okay. Localhost. Any URL is okay, because This is just for identity provider. It not need to redirect. Okay, resist. Just copy this consumer key. Copy this consumer key. We will use it in the next step. The consumer key. Okay, deploy current project. OVP Azure Identity Provider. First, go to this project folder. Okay, here is the current project code folder. Let me execute the maven clean package. Maven clean package. Okay, success. Go to the target folder. Target folder. We will find this jar file. This jar file. Before we run it, we need supply application props file. Okay, let me create that file. Just nearby this jar file. If you copy, move this file to other folder, you need you need at the same time near to it create this file. Touch. Okay. Here we need to modify the props. Here, current project will run in this port number. This port number here. This number is the same. Okay, let me change the file and modify it. Okay, here is the Azure corresponding URL and the port. Here, this is the OVP API URL. OVP API. And here is the consumer key. The consumer key should be the consumer key we create in the second step. Okay, let me delete it. And paste it just this value. This just this consumer key. This consumer key. Okay, save it. Now start this identity provider project. Java. Okay, enter. Okay, the server started. The identity provider project started. It run in this URL. Pay attention, this URL is just this URL, this URL, and this URL. The third steps is okay, is finished. And the next step, deploy demo project. We have one demo project in this repository. Just pull this code and do the package. Okay, we got the code at here. Let me package the jar file. Maven clean package. Enter. Okay, package success to the target file, target folder. Here is the corresponding jar file. we also need to create one the properties file. Just near to this jar file next to it. Okay, touch. We need these properties, and please don't copy all, just copy this part. Just copy this part. Okay, here is this project, this demo project port number, and they here are the Hazor URLs, and this is the identity provider URL, login URL. Please pay attention. This value is the same as Hazor URL login. This value is the same as this value. They should be the same. Okay, and this value, this URL is the OBP API server. And now let me create one consumer for the demo project. Create one consumer. Okay, create consumer. Our application deployed will deploy on this port. On this port. So redirect URL, you must set the real URL. Localhost index or main page. Please pay attention. This URL must be this project URL. Okay, let me resist it. Success. Let me copy the oauth2 values and paste to the application props. Okay, paste. Okay, we are done. Save it. Now the next step is start this server. Start the server. Okay, start the server. Okay, start success. Now, all the server is ready. We can go to this link, demo project to check the flow. Let me go to, okay, before I go to this link, just make a summarize. Okay, first deploy the Hazor. The Hazor need to change this URL. It must be point to the identity provider URL. So at here, change the YAML file and start it. The second, start the API server. You need to pay attention to the Hazor URL. And after this, we create one consumer. This consumer key is just for and the identity provider. Okay, copy it and put it here. Pay attention the Hazor URL and the OBP API server URL at here. and start it. This server running on this URL. And the last step is start the demo project. We need to change the header URL correspondingly and the OBP API URL. And this login page URL must the same as Hazor login URL. Okay, after this, we start the demo server. After all the steps, we can go to this URL. Okay. Here is our demo project. Okay, select one bank and some consents. Okay, request consents. Go to the identity provider login page. It is just identity provider. Okay, login, username, password, login. Okay, we go to our demo project, our redirect back to our demo project at here. Check the consents, check the accounts and request the corresponding consents.